Hey everybody, welcome to my kitchen sink. We are going to sanitize our mouthpieces and reeds and talk about how to do the same with flute head joints and also brass mouthpieces. Alright, so first I want to show you what I have available to use. I have hand soap. That's just regular hand soap. I have hydrogen peroxide. I have mouthwash, which has alcohol and hydrogen peroxide in it. And I have 70% isopropyl alcohol. I've also attached like a kitchen cleaner sprayer to my alcohol. But you don't have to have any of these items as long as you just have hand soap. You'll be fine. All right, so we're gonna talk about sanitizing our mouthpiece first, which most of you have probably already done before, but we're just gonna walk through the steps together. So I have this cork part of my mouthpiece, which I want to avoid getting wet at all costs because the glue that attaches this cork to the mouthpiece can actually come undone from the mouthpiece, and then we have to send it to the shop to get repaired. So I'm just gonna take my finger and thumb and create a good seal on my mouthpiece there. I can still get water through the hole and also through the facing. All right, so I'm gonna turn my water on, and it is at a lukewarm temperature. It's not cold and it's certainly not hot. I'm gonna get my whole entire mouthpiece wet. And then you can use any of these items, but I prefer hand soap. I think it does the job fine. So I do about half a squirt of just regular hand soap. And then I'm going to use my little finger because it will fit. And I'm just going to scrub inside my mouthpiece, outside my mouthpiece, using special care and attention around the tip so that I don't damage it because it is pretty fragile there. Okay, if you have a mouthpiece patch on, you want to scrub really well on the mouthpiece patch. And sometimes I have to take my fingernail and kind of wipe along the edges. Be careful when you do that. Okay, then I'm going to use my same finger with the soap on it and go in the other side of the mouthpiece and scrub that way. All right. I feel like I've gotten my mouthpiece pretty good and clean. Then I'm just going to rinse it off along with my fingers. Rinse it off really well. Make sure to get all of the soap residue off. Okay, feel pretty good about that. Then I'm going to take a clean kitchen hand towel, or you could use a paper towel or a napkin or whatever you've got laying around, and gently dry it on the outside. All right, and then just whatever bit of the towel or paper towel will fit inside the mouthpiece, you can dry with that too. All right, then you'll just let it air dry in a safe place where you know it's not going to get knocked off a counter or anything. Okay, say you don't have hand soap available for you to use. You can use hydrogen peroxide and fill a little bit in a cup and just dip your mouthpiece, the tip of your mouthpiece in there. That'll work fine. Do the same thing with mouthwash or alcohol. Just be aware that peroxide and alcohol can discolor your mouthpiece a little bit. There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine to play on. It's just a little bit discolored because of the material it's made out of. Okay, now if I play the flute, I'm going to be very careful and get a paper towel, get some alcohol spray, get my paper towel where it's wet, and then pretending this is my head joint, I'm going to wipe the lip plate with my alcohol, and then I'll just let it evaporate and dry. Okay. Saxophones, you're going to wash your mouthpiece the exact same way that I washed this clarinet mouthpiece, but you don't have to be careful with the cork because the cork is attached to your neck. All right, brass players. I happen to have a trumpet mouthpiece here. You can dip in hydrogen peroxide and then wipe it off, and it's good to go. Or you could spray it or dip it in alcohol, or you could wash it with soap. You've got all of those options available to you. Okay, reed players. I want you to think about your reed keeper. It needs to be sanitized along with your reeds. So you can, I have my cloth that I sprayed alcohol on, wipe and sanitize your reed keeper this way. You could spray it with alcohol. You could use a Clorox wipe. Okay, but you want to make sure to get all surfaces of your reed keeper nice and clean. And then you'll just I'm going to let that evaporate. Okay. You saw me pour the hydrogen peroxide into this cup. So this is a reed that I've used. I'm going to dip it in the peroxide, both sides, carefully. Then I'll just rinse it off. Gently remove the excess water and then stick it back in my reed keeper, which is clean. So you can do that with reeds that you've already used, or the better choice would be to just open up a brand new reed. Now, some of you may not have extra reeds at home, and that's fine. You can sanitize your reeds and they'll be fine to play on. One other thing that I'd like for you to think about doing is sanitizing your swab. Now, I've already done mine without thinking that I was going to record this video, so I'm going to show you how I did it. I just did it in the sink. You can put this in like a pillowcase and wash it in the washing machine. That's fine. Just make sure that you don't dry it. You pull it out and let it air dry because it'll get holes in it. I'm going to turn my sink water on pretty warm, but where I could still stand it to stick my hand in it. Let it warm up here. All right, and you could use dish soap, hand soap, laundry soap, whatever soap you've got. A good little squirt. Get my rag wet. And then I'm just gonna scrub it with my hands. This is the way that I prefer to do it, but like I said, you can put it in the washing machine and it's fine to do so. Okay, so I would spend more time had I not already done this. Make sure you get the string as well. Rinse it very well. I got my water a little hot, okay. Rinse all the soap off. Wring it out as best you can. And then stretch it out to air dry. I have mine drying on my dish rack. All right, so there you go. Everything is sanitized and good to go. If your parents feel like you need to sanitize the keys of your instrument, you can do so with a paper towel and alcohol, or a Clorox wipe. Just make sure that you take a clean cloth and wipe any of that excess moisture away, and it should be fine. All right, happy cleaning.